You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM.
SoCal Sports Talk.
Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? It is a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. We come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, just a few minutes from downtown San Diego. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, great food, amazing drinks, blackjack, poker, smoke-free environment, this beautiful view of the Bay of Chula Vista. Come on down and visit 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. Okay, fellas, let's just jump right in here for a second. We were talking about the playoffs, the NFL playoffs coming up this weekend. Alex, could you put up on the screen for everybody the way things are going down? We'll set it up, and then I want to start getting into a few storylines here for this weekend. Go ahead. Super wild card weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do it.
I added the lines, too, because we're a betting show now. Raiders at Bengals. Bengals -5. That's on Saturday at 1:30. Saturday night at 5:15. Patriots at Bills. The Bills, 4 points favorites. That's Saturday. So Raiders at Bengals, Patriots at Bills for Saturday. Sunday morning, you got the Bucks hosting the Eagles, Bucks -9. On Sunday afternoon, the 49ers at the Cowboys, that's Cowboys -3. Sunday night game. Oh, by the way, the Cowboys-Niners game, that's the Nickelodeon game, so there will be a slime MVP a la
Does that
Mitch
mean
Trubisky.
does that mean there's an alternative broadcast, meaning like you
Correct.
can watch the normal, but you could also watch the slimy one?
Correct, right. So
Okay.
it's on CBS
Mm-hmm.
and it's on Nick Prime Video, whatever that
Okay.
means.
And is that the one where Ian Eagles' son broadcast the game with
Yeah, I
like
think so.
Nate Burleson? I mean, at least that
That
was
was last year. That was last year.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I watched the Bears-Saints game because I knew how bad it would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I watched it. And it was very entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly entertaining. When you score a touchdown, you get slime all over the end zones. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was great. This game is probably way better than that, so I'll probably watch it regularly.
Yeah.
That was Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, Chiefs at Steelers. I don't know why the Steelers are even playing. Big Ben said they don't have a chance. So -12.5 for the Chiefs. And then, of course, on Monday, Rams hosting Cardinals. Rams 4-point favorites.
All right. There you go. So let's start off with the Rams for a minute here. Rams against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium, Monday Night Football. So let me ask everybody a question. Do you like Matthew Stafford's wife, who has turned herself into a media personality, if you will? Or do you not like the fact that his wife does a lot of talking? I will tell you in advance, I like it. I like it. It kind of reminds me, and I haven't seen it yet. Have you guys had a chance to see Kurt Warner's movie? What? What's so funny?
No, man. No, I have not. I've not seen that movie.
Well, you refuse to see that movie. Is that right?
No, I'm not. I will not see it.
Okay. Would you see it if it were on like a streaming service and you could watch it at home?
No.
So you
Netflix has like 10 movies I haven't watched yet.
Okay, but so you would just refuse to watch this movie because
Were you ever going to watch the movie, or was the trailer that bad?
The trailer did it. The trailer killed me. I'm done.
man.
I have to dedicate. I'm a real movie watcher. I'm a real film intaker. Shows, whatever, I got to dedicate hours of my life to a story that I kind of watched. So I don't really want to see it again in a less theatrical version. I'm good.
Okay, so I'm biased. I
Of course
admit
you
it.
are.
I admit it. Okay, you guys know I have a man crush on Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal actually for me. I mean, I love the guy.
Are you in the movie? Is a character named Scott Kaplan in the movie?
I have nothing to do with the story of any kind.
No sideline reporter?
Nothing like that.
Okay.
That's strange.
So I love Kurt Warner. I love his story. I was at that Super Bowl in Atlanta when the Rams beat Tennessee, so I feel very connected to the story. I was friends with Trent Green, who was the quarterback who got hurt by Rodney Harrison, who was a San Diego Charger, who we obviously had a relationship with. I feel very connected to how the Kurt Warner story happened. I know the defensive back that knocked out the quarterback. I was friends with the quarterback, but then he got hurt, and then the other guy takes over, and ultimately I wind up working with that guy. So I'm connected. I feel connected to the story. I love Kurt Warner. I love his story. I want to see that movie. I have not yet seen the movie.
Huh. Interesting. He
Mostly
wins the Super Bowl, by the way.
Oh, is that what? Spoiler alert. Really?
Yeah.
Browner, we got the rule, man.
Oh, my bad.
to implement a spoiler alert rule. You can't just blurt things out as however old it may be.
Oh,
You must say spoiler alert
that's right. My bad.
so people can turn the radio down for 10 seconds.
So I haven't seen the Kurt Warner movie. I want to see the Kurt Warner movie. And I'll tell you another piece of content that I want to see that I know Browner will tell me I'm an idiot for wanting to see. And that is The Man in the Arena, the Tom Brady documentary that's happening on ESPN. What's the problem, Browner?
Listen, you already saw this. You already spoiler alert. He wins. Like, okay, The Last Dance. This is the Last Dance attempt. Okay.
So what's the problem with that?
Because you can't be better than The Last Dance. You just can't.
I want to tell you something. I haven't seen
So
the Tom Brady.
nobody make any more sports documentaries.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right. Because the
Don't even
Last
bother.
Last
Don't
Dance
even
was so
bother.
good. You can't even. I
Right.
will tell you guys this.
Jordan's
Jordan gonna take that
propaganda piece.
personally.
Jordan's propaganda piece was way better.
Jordan's gonna take that personally. Y'all better be quiet. He'll hear y'all.
All I know is this.
Can't afford Jordan Brand anyways.
I don't know if I can afford Brady Brand. I haven't seen the Brady documentary yet. My 21-year-old son texts me and goes, dude, I just watched the entire thing. He binge watched it. He's like, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. He goes, life-changing for him.
You know why?
Tell me.
Too young to remember it.
To Browner's point then, why do I need to see the Kurt Warner movie? Why do I need to see the Tom Brady documentary?
I am a firm believer because I was probably Justin's age during the Brady years as I was during the Jordan years. And that's why I love the Jordan documentary so much. But if you give me a LeBron documentary, I probably am not watching it.
Really?
If you give me Brady, I'm not watching it. Like, name a sport. I'm not watching a Jeter documentary.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Why? You want to watch him hit some singles?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, Scott, but you're super into it. So I don't.
Let's watch a
maybe I'm wrong.
documentary on routine ground balls.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, the point is
Guy
this.
makes 2 catches his whole career.
Here's how this conversation even came up. I was talking about how Matthew Stafford, the quarterback of the Rams, his wife, is turning into a personality that we see. We never in 15 years in San Diego, I don't think I ever saw Phillip Rivers' wife one time.
She's pregnant the whole time.
Right. I'm not right. My point is
I seen him at the Cheesecake Factory once. That's about it.
But that's like, you never saw her. You're right. She was momming and she was pregnant the whole time. And you never saw her. Drew Brees' wife, Brittany, you saw her on occasion. But she was never really like a media personality, even though she wasn't like behind the scenes. I mean, I think she was in a couple of the TV commercials and stuff, but Brenda Warner, Kurt Warner's wife, she was, if somebody said something about Kurt Warner and she didn't like it, she'd call the local sports radio station and jump on the air. You know, she turned into a media personality kind of defending Kurt Warner. I find that Matthew Stafford's wife is kind of a similar personality. She's making appearances on podcasts. She's making appeals to the fan base. She's always on social media defending Matthew Stafford and telling everybody what kind of a great guy he is. Let me tell you something. I wish I had that sort of support when I was married. Okay? Seriously. Like that's a partnership. Hey, I support you no matter what, and I'll tell the world about it if I have to.
Well, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
So you don't like that she has her own podcast? Like,
no.
I think we got to establish that. Like,
yeah, can we hear
Scott's
what you
talking
said?
about that, and then you, Browner, you can.
Yeah, Browner, hold on. Let's hear. First of all, so
she has her own podcast called The Morning After.
Okay, and so let's take a listen here to some of this. Is Kelly Stafford, right? That's her name. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen so many of the opposing team's fans at a game, and we came from Detroit, and there are a lot of good traveling teams there, but that was wild. Like, Matthew is on a silent count, and for those of you who don't know what that is, like, he can't call. It's like when he hikes the ball, it's either a loud count where you can hear him, and that's what usually quarterbacks are on when they're at home, or a silent count. Matthew is on a silent count. Jimmy Garoppolo was not, who's the opposing quarterback. It was crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, but it made it very hard for us because I guess, we weren't expecting to be on silent count.
So interesting. I mean, Kelly Stafford has a podcast. She makes podcast appearances. She's got strong opinions. She defends her man. I gotta say, I kind of like it. All right, here she is. Here she is on Twitter. Alex just put it up on the screen for those of you that are watching.
This is the Instagram caption to go along with that video.
Yeah.
Saying, my plea, please don't sell your tickets, but your tickets to Arizona fans.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened is the Rams fans and look, the Chargers organizationally, they get ridiculed all the time because the opposing fans take over their stadium. The Rams got a taste of that Charger medicine on Sunday, and it's the Rams fans' fault. Because if you had tickets to the game and you said, you know what, it's COVID, I don't want to go. I don't think the game has as much meaning as it once, but it did have a lot of meaning. Bottom line, you have Rams tickets, you put them into a marketplace, you sold them, and the 49er fans completely took over the stadium. And there's Kelly Stafford pleading. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Or is it making a plea? Nonetheless, saying, I don't think pleading is, come on, really?
I plead the fifth.
You can plead and you can plea. But is there such a thing as pleading?
I don't know, man. You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, I don't know either. Anyway.
There's no autocorrect on it.
She's making a plea to the Rams fans. Hey.
A formal response.
Right. Don't sell your tickets. Now, Kelly, good news for you is I don't think Arizona fans are like so passionate and crazy that they're coming across from Phoenix. But
are they like Kansas City fans?
They're too broke.
Ooh.
No, we all know about Zonies coming to Southern California.
I was about to say, listen, see you 4th of July. They ain't too broke to drive over on the 4th of July. Yikes.
So what do you guys think? Do you like that a superstar quarterback for a major market team that's in the playoffs, do you like that his wife does a lot of the talking for them? Because he doesn't really say very much.
No, I don't like it. Actually, I hate it. I'm going to be 100% real and honest about this particular side of the business that a lot of people don't know. Unless you are in that space, Kelly Stafford, unless you are a actress of some sort or a public figure of some sort, and you're not just Matthew Stafford's wife, that's why people listen to your podcast. You bring upon hate and negativity on your family that you don't need and or don't deserve. And so Matt Stafford knows what he's signing up for. He knows his play will be commented on across the country if it's good or if it's bad. He knows to take the good with the bad. When the wife speaks up, it is never going to be looked at as positive. There will always be people saying, there'll be more people saying nasty things to her than positive things to her. And don't let something happen to her, because then the nasty people will come out in full force. I just think that if you're going to be the wife and speak up in that way, you're running the risk of putting too much of your family's business out for public consumption. And I just don't think that that's a good place to be as the respective other of a professional athlete. Like, I don't even know what LeBron James' wife's voice sounds like.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about Steph Curry's wife? You think she talks too much publicly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish she would shut the hell up. Jada Pinkett Smith is an actress. I think she would shut the hell up too.
I think there's a difference, though, between having Twitter fingers as a spouse and having an own show, because the fact that she has her own show, that means Matthew Stafford's cool with it. Like, she's not sharing things that Matt's not cool with.
Not yet.
Like, he got the green light, but that's it. It is what it is. Like, that's part of having a show. Sometimes you say things and you go viral for certain things. But the fact that they obviously gave each other the green light to do this, then I got no problem with it. Well, I think there's a big difference, though, than like a brother or a wife or a husband, whoever is spouting off on Twitter, or, yelling at fans like Giselle after the Super Bowl. My husband can't do everything. I think there's a big difference.
That's different.
How about Patrick Mahomes? But how about Patrick Mahomes' brother?
Idiot.
Okay? Like Patrick Mahomes' brother is a jerk.
Yes.
Okay. But Kelly Stafford here, she has chosen to play in a world today where everybody can have a podcast, everybody can have social media accounts, and she could choose to say, I don't want to be on Twitter. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to listen to sports radio. I don't want to hear what people are saying. But instead, rather than just hearing what people are saying, she's like, no, screw you people. I'll put out from the inside what's going on. And I'm with Alex. Matthew Stafford clearly is supportive of all of this because he doesn't say a whole lot. It's like she's his spokesperson. I don't really have a problem with it.
But that's the thing. If she can take it, great, sure, fine. And you say, oh, he doesn't talk much, so she's his spokesperson. is this a situation where he's okay with that? We
I
don't
would say yes.
necessarily know.
Clearly,
I would
I
guess
mean,
so.
obviously,
I mean, she's
she's
doing
not
it.
doing a podcast like on her own in her basement. Like she's part of a podcast group.
Yeah, I
that,
think
you
she's
know, she's
working
part of
with
like the one with the entourage.
yeah,
guy,
Action
you know?
Park Media, which
Exactly.
is what's the kid's name who played
Kevin Connolly.
Kevin Connolly, right?
Right.
That's his deal.
Yeah.
My friend Doug Ellen is does a podcast with those guys. The guy who's the creator of Entourage.
I just think you got to be careful because there's a lot of nasty people out there and a lot of
But
platforms.
I think they're cool with it though.
Okay.
Obviously, like I mean, if they're doing it, that no one in the age of 2022 goes into a public space not knowing that there's backlash for things that you say. Like, you know what I mean? Like Browner, you of all the three of us know that more than anything. Like you say
Right.
something, everybody goes after you.
And that's
So,
but that's
right.
the thing. That's what I'm saying. So for me, if I say something and somebody says something about my child, I'm not taking that the right way. If Kelly Stafford says something and then people start talking about her children, she's gonna be vastly offended by that. But that's the door you open.
I don't think that's the conversation we're having though.
But no, that's the conversation I'm having. That's
right,
why I'm saying I don't like it.
You're having your own conversation.
Because she
As
posted,
usual.
like she posted it on her own Instagram. Like she doesn't care.
As
I've been talking to me since I got here.
All right, give me
No
one
one
second.
listens to me.
Give me 1 second because there's a lot more storylines around the playoff games that I want to get to. Yeah,
Shane wrong.
no, she's not wrong.
She ain't
She's not
wrong.
Right. I mean, hey, the 49er fans took over the stadium.
I got a
and
text,
it's
Scott, that
Yeah.
you said it on Tuesday or Monday that you said it was 50-50. I was like, dude, that thing looked like 80-20.
Well, it sounded 80-20.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
totally
yeah,
sounded
no,
80-20. I'm just
I had
talking to people that were
Raider
there.
Charger was 50-50.
Yeah, I had multiple people that I was there that are Niner fans. They were like, dude, that was minimum 75-25 Niner fans.
Browner, you just said 50-50 for the Raiders Chargers. Which game?
The one we just saw Sunday, the last Sunday night game.
That was a 50-50 crowd?
You didn't hear it? Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
keep
was
telling yourself
it was
that.
real quiet in there when they made that
Yeah.
comeback.
You keep having those conversations with yourself. You keep
Hold
believing
up.
your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, give me 1 minute, Alex. I don't know if I can put you on the spot here to do this or not. And maybe you can, maybe you can't. But 2 days ago, we had on Dr. Maxey from iThrive MD. And you did a great job of posting that all over social media. Just little clips, from on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And then Dr. Maxey saw it and he reposted it and I put it all over my story on Instagram. And I thought it was a really great conversation because here's this young guy, this young doctor. And here he is right here. I don't know if we can possibly hear that or not, but if not, no biggie. But go on to our Instagram at Kaplan and Crew and take a look at the conversation we were having with Dr. Maxey this is 2 days ago. And we're going to start doing this with iThrive MD, where we put together like a lounge of people doing intravenous vitamin intake at the same time. Now, Browner, you drink a lot of soda, you eat a lot of fast food. Will you come get healthy with me at iThrive MD with an IV lounge with a bunch of great friends? Think about a coastal elite barbershop situation. What do you think about that?
I think that this is the year for me to be super healthy. I'm going to wear a Speedo on the beach on July 4th. I want to get in super mad shape.
Oh, hell to the yeah.
Mm-hmm. So shoot me up, Doc.
Speedo, huh?
Shoot me up, Doc. I'm telling you, I'm finna go full six-pack pecs. Boom. Ooh, sexy 2020.
Sounds like a midlife crisis.
Oh my God. I heard
I am middle-aged.
Dude, I heard Browner on Browner and Lawhead last night. I was driving around listening on ESPN 1090, and Browner was talking about how some celebrity has to
Drake.
put
I was going to talk about it on this show, but
oh my
Put
God.
hot sauce in his condom.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard.
Caliente.
And Browner's like, man, when you're that famous, you can't even get done and be like, oh, damn, girl, that was great. Like he was talking, I was like, oh my God, I am dying laughing listening to these guys last night. And then Lawhead has a line which was like, good thing I'm broke and nobody knows who I am kind of thing. Because it would suck to be that famous. All right, here's the point about iThrive MD. Go to their website, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. That's my personal landing page, and that helps the show if you go there. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Or here's a phone number. It's just for our show, 858-240-1497. 858-240-1497. Make an appointment. Get your testosterone levels checked for free. That's number one. Talk to the doctors about what else can I do when it comes to anti-aging, to better sleep, to better sex, et cetera, et cetera. Talk to them. because they have a lot of different services that I don't even talk about all of their services. That's how much they offer. 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Testosterone, NAD, vitamin, intravenous stuff. Listen, that sounded like really medical, didn't it? Intravenous stuff. It sounded really, really medical. 858-240-1497. All right, coming up, Ben Roethlisberger says that the Steelers have no chance to win against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean, that's what he said.
Those are his words.
Straight up.
Yeah. Want to get to that. Brandon Staley, who has become, everybody's punching bag around the country talking about the NFL, not because it's the playoff weekend, it's because the team with the best quarterback doesn't have a playoff appearance. In other words, if you look at the statistics at the end of the year, the number 3 ranked quarterback in the entire NFL is Justin Herbert, and that's the only team that's not in the playoffs. In other words, top 10 quarterbacks all in except one guy. We'll talk about that because Brandon Staley now had a press conference explaining what he wants going forward. So we'll get there as well. We got a lot we want to talk about today. Stick around, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Stick around.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio.
SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help.
Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for CalFresh.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our mission at Shelter to Soldier is twofold. We're saving lives 2 at a time. We adopt dogs from shelters and rescues across California, and we're training these dogs that are carefully evaluated for 12 to 18 months, and they're going to become psychiatric service dogs that are later placed with post 9/11 combat veterans.
As one of the leading law firms in California, we at the Barnes firm believe it is really important to give back to our community.
This team of amazing individuals has got to come together, and they've actually sponsored 3 dogs. One of them being our pal Barney, rescued out of a shelter, believe it or not. And he was named after the late Steve Barnes, which brings a lot of personal meaning to the team at the Barnes firm, to our organization. So being able to carry on that legacy through Barney's work and helping fellow veterans is really important to everybody, us included.
It's quite an honor for us to have Barney join the family, and we're looking forward to meeting the service member who he's paired up with.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
We use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live games, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event, the Salute to Teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
Congratulations to the San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Laura Reyes, Heather McLean, Jacqueline Jourdain, Zy Sanders, and Tiffany Jokerst.
This year has provided a mountain of challenges, but every mountaintop is within reach if you just keep climbing.
Cox Presents Salute to Teachers is proudly sponsored by these charitable companies.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
University of San Diego women's basketball got their first West Coast Conference win of the season against San Francisco last Saturday. USD settled right where they had left off after a 3-week pause due to COVID protocols, getting the win 65-56. Kiera Okri hit career highs with 22 points and 8 rebounds. Sydney Hunter earned her second double-double of the season with 11 points and 12 rebounds. The USD defense forced 16 total turnovers and 9 steals against San Francisco. They shot 45% from the three-point line. The Toreros are 9-4 on the season. They'll take on Loyola Marymount tonight, then will match up with Gonzaga on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Vondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
When California weather conditions create a high risk for wildfires, electric companies may shut off power in some neighborhoods as a precaution. These public safety power shutoffs could affect homes and businesses and interrupt power to your home, devices, and even our Cox facilities. During a PSPS, we'll work hard to keep customers connected to their Cox services in conditions that are safe for you, our employees, and our community. For information and updates, follow us on Twitter and visit Cox.com.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio.
SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
It's Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Just minutes from downtown San Diego. Poker, blackjack, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, amazing food in a smoke-free environment. Come on down and visit 7 Mile Casino and 7milecasino.com. All right, Grande, Brown Man. I'm calling for the upset now. This is what I want to see. This is where my heart is this weekend. I want the Raiders to beat the Bengals. And here to have that discussion. Have they spent it all in that win over the Chargers? From the Raiders Radio Network, JT the Brick is back in the house. Brick, I don't know who loved it more. You, because your Raiders won, or me, because the Chargers lost. I don't know who loved it more.
Guys, great friends, great to see. And, of course, you want the Raiders. Who wants the Bengals week 2 or 3 of the playoffs unless you're in Cincinnati? You want the global Raider Nation. John Madden's passing, Al Davis, this team, what happened with the Gruden resignation, one of the great stories of resilience that you've seen in a long time. But, guys, it was one of the greatest games I've ever been to in my life as a sports fan. Regular season, we've all been to Super Bowls, Final Fours, caps. You worked some great sidelines. Everybody went in there knowing something good could possibly happen. And midway through that fourth quarter when Herbert was coming back, you knew you were sitting through a classic, an epic ending, and then the final 30 seconds, would they take a knee? What would happen? Raiders don't want to play Kansas City. They're going for the win. 5 quarters of football, one of the greatest regular season football games of all time.
I would buy that. I really would. Alex and I were in L.A. at the Coliseum for the Rams-Chiefs when they canceled the game in Mexico City and they brought it back to the Coliseum. And we thought that was like the greatest regular season game we'd ever been to. But this
still is for me.
Yeah, Raiders-Chargers, instant classic, JT.
Yeah, and that other game was great too. And there's been plenty. We've seen plenty of games, but never has there been a football game ever, regular season history, that ended that way with a team getting eliminated, a team going, and a team watching at home. The Steelers, that if it was a tie, and he misses that field goal, the Steelers are out, and they have a 6-time Super Bowl fan base. So think of the millions of Steeler fans who were tied into that game. And then the way it ended was so brilliant. And then, which I hope we spend the majority of time talking about, this Boy Blunder. I gave him that nickname, and I better get credit for that forever with the great friends. I came up with that on my own, Boy Blunder, because earlier in the year I heard it was either NFL Network or a national radio show said Boy Wonder. I said, wait a second, Boy Wonder. What the hell did he ever do? Oh, he goes for it on 4th down all the time. So we put him up there with Lombardi, Landry, Belichick, because this little kid has the balls to go for it. He goes for it on 4th and 1 on his own 18. They don't get it. Raiders get 3. You guys tell me what the final score was. Boy Blunder lost the game because Brandon Staley thinks he's bigger than the game. He thinks he's bigger. The amount of disrespect he showed the Raider Nation, the amount of disrespect he showed the Raiders on his own 18-yard line, saying, oh, the Raiders suck. Oh, Raiders? Who are the Raiders? We'll go for it. We'll just pick up an easy 1st down. They get stuffed. They lose the game. Plus, he doesn't know how to handle the clock, his timeouts, trying to get a defensive group on the field, timeout. Why didn't he use the timeout to ice the kicker at the end of the game? Boy Blunder was in over his head, and that's the guy L.A. thinks is going to take the Chargers to the promised land. Good luck with that.
What do you think about that, Browner? My man JT the Brick just said, good luck with that with Boy Blunder. That's exactly right.
JT, I'm a Herbert fan. At the end of this game, I think this is one of the few things all 3 of us have agreed on in the history of, I know, me being a part of this show, is that's the first time I can remember a coach keeping his team out of the playoffs because he just did something really stupid repeatedly throughout one single game that meant so much. The timeout was unexcusable. I thought it was fireable because that you cannot tell me another team with a franchise quarterback, a top 5 quarterback that didn't make the playoffs, but somehow he managed that. So I don't know what they do with him. I don't know how you can go back to him because clearly pressure situations, he shrinks. That is my thing with them. I thought the Chargers were a better team. I thought Herbert had them on the ropes. When the clock hit 0, they scored a touchdown. If you're tough, if you're smarter than everyone else, go for 2 then. Max Crosby was destroying your tackle. He was out of gas. He was tired. Go for it then. That was their best chance. And if you're going to go for it on 4th and 1 on your own 18, you've got them on the ropes from the 2-yard line. Go for it now. I just didn't understand it.
Browner, those are really good points. Let's talk about the history of the NFL first, because I love ripping on Boy Blunder. I just love it because when John Gruden resigned that week, if you go back on YouTube, he took a cheap shot at the Raiders. That week, he was in a press conference talking about how they do it. It was a cheap shot at Gruden, who was down, and he kicked him when he was down. I remembered that. And that's why I never liked this guy, because he just couldn't take the high road there. He knew the Raiders were reeling, and he took a shot at them. So let's go back to the game. But before that, one of the greatest Raider games of all time is Ghost to the Post. Dave Casper caught a pass in a AFC playoff legendary game against the Baltimore Colts. Looked over his shoulder. Stabler dropped it in. The Raiders got down to the 3 or 4 yard line, and John Madden decided that they were going to kick a field goal to go to overtime, because he said, the great John Madden, I didn't want the whole season to come down to one play. So they played for overtime. The Raiders went in and won that game. It was one of their greatest games. I agree with Staley for going for 1 on that, not for 2, because they played the whole season and they knew they could advance with a tie. So by then, he thinks he can beat them in overtime. If they get the ball first, they'll win. Plus, he had the back security. If overtime went to a tie, he would get in. If they went for 2 and he didn't get it, he gets no overtime, doesn't have the opportunity to win with a tie and get into the playoffs and advance. So I didn't mind that. I was just shocked when the Raiders only put up 3 on the first drive in overtime. I was sitting behind Brent Musburger, and Brent Musburger, quote, the Godfather said, deja vu. Because the year before, Mariota was first and goal at the 4, didn't get in. Raiders kicked a field goal. Herbert went the length of the field and beat the Raiders. I'm shocked that the Chargers didn't score and end the game in overtime. But then the Raiders get the ball back. And here's where the conspiracy theory gets interesting. There are some dolts in media who think, well, the Raiders were talking about playing for a tie. Have you lost your mind? The Raiders were at midfield. If they couldn't get past midfield, they would have drained the clock and took a knee. But when Josh Jacobs, after the carry, got the 8 extra yards, they got the best kicker, the only kicker ever to have 5 walk-off wins. And I'm talking to a great kicker there. And
I don't know about that.
I'm talking to a great kicker. And 4-time special teams player of the week, never been done before. So the Raiders were always going to take the clock down to 2-3 seconds and give Carlson an opportunity for a 60, 55, 49-yarder. There were really people in the media, even Al Michaels and Collinsworth were confused at the time. There was no confusion. The Raiders were playing just win, baby, not just tie, baby. And the Raiders walked off those L.A. Chargers.
Yeah, JT
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? That's what happened.
Disagreeing about
That's what happened.
What do you think? They're going to play for a tie? They got to go play Kansas City, Browner, if they tie the game. If they win, they play Cincinnati. They can't beat Kansas City this year. They always want to win a game and eliminate the team. They only would have played for a tie. This is fact, not fiction. If they couldn't get the ball past midfield, if they were on their own 45, their own 48, absolutely. They weren't going to look for some Tom Dempsey moment there, and they would have went. They would have went because look, some people saying, Browner, maybe you're going to say this. What happens if the kick gets blocked? Great point. Kick gets blocked. They take it back the other way. That would have been the lowest moment since the immaculate reception against the Raiders, and there was a possibility that could happen.
I felt like before the timeout, no one was in a hurry. There was no urgency on either side of the ball. They were just trying to make it look like, hey, well, what are you going to do? Well, we're not calling a timeout. Well, you're not calling a timeout. Well, what's going on? And then Staley called the timeout, and then they looked at each other like, let's just beat them. And then they ran the ball, got to Josh Jacobs, got the first down, got extra after that. And then it made it pretty simple that the guy never missed in the stadium. He's going to make this kick. But before that timeout, it really felt like watching. Again, you were there. You had a better feel for it. Watching, it felt as if they knew what was going on. We knew what was going on. We don't have to say it. Just don't be in a hurry.
I was getting ready to go on the post game, win, lose, or tie. And I had a guy standing next to me as we were in that lower bowl watching it, basically saying the fix is in, the fix is in. The league wants a tie. I looked at him. I said, are you serious? Like it's the JFK assassination or some moon landing conspiracy. I'm like, you really think Roger Goodell's on the phone with someone? The guy looked me dead face in the eye. He goes, absolutely. Because the casinos would have lost. They said up to $1 billion with a B, $1 billion or something. Wow. It would have affected everything. Look, I just know I interviewed Rich Bisaccia earlier today. I interview him every week for TV. I'm the only guy who interviews him. And the guy looked at me. I just said, Coach, have you ever imagined a game with so many big plays? And he said, yeah, it was one of the greatest games of all time. But the thing about Herbert, he threw the touchdown he threw 23 yards on 4th down, 4th and 23 into that end zone. Those are where my seats are at Allegiant Stadium. I'm sitting next to my son. Herbert fades back 5 yards. So he's about at the 30 if you look at it again. I've never in my life seen this. I've seen Elway, Favre, Young play. He threw a rope. Raiders had 7 defenders, Cap, and guys in the end zone. They were already in the end zone knowing that they had a score. He threw a rope so quickly, and it went right by my sight angle. I've never seen a ball. Like when you're playing dodgeball as a kid and someone throws the dodgeball and you know it's coming at you and you just freeze. The Raiders froze. He hits that for that comeback, and then the comeback begins. Herbert's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen, ever live. And I've seen all the modern quarterbacks. He's that good. The only guy who can screw this up is Boy Blunder.
Well, an owner blunder, too. Don't forget about him.
Oh, and Dean, Cap, I was dying to tell you this. So Dean's on the sidelines.
Right.
He did the classic Jerry. He came down. You know how Jerry comes down at the end of games?
Arthur Blank as well.
Arthur Blank as well. Good point. And Dean was down there. I would love to know what Dean said to Staley after the game. Because Dean's looking at this stadium in Vegas going, oh, my God, this could have been mine. We pay rent to Stan Kroenke. We don't even have fans show up to our game. And he must be looking around just in shock by this. But, look, I think the Chargers will be back. Herbert's going to make multiple trips in his career to the playoffs. Probably will make a Super Bowl run. If Stan Humphries can take that organization to the Super Bowl, I'm sure Justin Herbert can. But I just wonder what they're going to do with this coach long term, because it's more about him than it is about Herbert. And when you get in the way of a franchise quarterback like that, the fans pick up on it.
Yep, JT the Brick from the Raiders Radio Network here on Kaplan and Crew. Alex, you got the final word here because JT got a hustle, and you've been kind of listening.
I just want to say that I love JT, and I want him on. We should have had him on after every Charger game, to be honest with you guys. But JT, I get a little offended for Rich Bisaccia when I see head coach openings and Raiders is listed.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. Look, Rich Bisaccia is playing himself into a great scenario, right? He's playing himself into a great scenario. And there are some coaches candidates out there, but it hasn't been, Alex, like 4 or 5 years ago where, wow, will Dungy come out of retirement? Will Bill Cowher come out of retirement? Will John Gruden come out of retirement, in which he did? There's not a lot of great coaching candidates out there. Jim Harbaugh hasn't been in the NFL for a while. If he comes back, he was a winner in the NFL. Brian Flores just got fired because he didn't get along with the owner. And then you look around the league. I'm a big fan of Byron Leftwich and Eric Bieniemy. I think those two guys, you get the Kansas City playbook and you get the Brady playbook with Leftwich recently. So there are some names out there, but from knowing Rich Bisaccia over the last couple of weeks, he doesn't care about any of that. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever had to interview in my career, because every time I ask him a question, it's all about someone else. Well, you know, you can thank Rod Marinelli for that defensive line and Crosby. Well, Coach, what do you think about the defense? Well, you can thank Gus Bradley for that. Gus had all the players lined up right. Well, what about the offensive line? Blocking for Jacobs. It's all about Tom Cable. This guy is humble. He's completely focused. He has this team ready to play. And it probably take a couple of years, but in 2 or 3 years, they're going to make a 30 for 30 on this season. And I had a front row seat for it. I mean, a real front row seat. And you talk about the Henry Ruggs fatality that killed Tina Tintor, Gruden's resignation, the looming NFL war that Gruden's going to go to clear his name, and to what happened in the Washington football investigation. Bisaccia taking over, playoff run, the greatest regular season game, maybe one of all time, Mount Rushmore, the Cowboy victory on Thanksgiving. Cap, you know this from CBS, one of the largest viewed games in the history of the regular season. Oh, throw that into the Raiders season. And now an opportunity to win a playoff game or two or maybe more. It's been a magical ride. Hopefully the Raiders aren't done yet.
Does it end Saturday, or is there another chapter?
Well, I've never been on a show wearing these colors where I ever said the team was going to lose. So that's not going to happen. But if we're sitting on the beach in Del Mar, and we're hanging out at the Brigantine, and me and Cap walk to the beach, Alex, I will whisper in his ear this summer what I really think behind the scenes. Now, I love this team. I love this fan base. I love the energy that they have. I love Allegiant Stadium. I just hope for our next time, and I'd like to come on again real quickly with you guys to talk about, is there going to be a Radio Row? COVID. What's going to happen with the LA Super Bowl? Could LA be, I don't think it'll be canceled, but who's flying around the country to go to LA to party?
Dude, you have no idea. I know you got to hustle, but I'll tell you right now, we've decided not to go to Radio Row. And even with my 710 colleagues in LA, they've canceled every live radio broadcast. JT, we sold 1,000 tickets to an award show, just a goofy award show in LA. And we canceled that whole thing. So everybody was like, well, if we canceled that thing and then we go do live radio broadcast, don't we look like a bunch of hypocrites? So, I mean, you're going to fly into LA, turn on the local sports radio station and go, they're not even really acting like the Super Bowl's in town. Because I'm with you, man. You think Radio Row, you think
if I was betting today, I'd say no, but I'm hoping I'm cleared to go and I'd like to go. I'm only coming from Vegas. But if there's no guest on Radio Row, remember, Radio Row is basically a COVID spreading event decades before we You go there and everybody's climbing on you, and a guy with a Hawaiian lei puts it around you, and everyone's breathing on you, and they're trying to sell some type of gummy or product, and you're like, no, I want to talk to Emmitt Smith. No, I want to talk to Jim Brown. I want to talk to Joe Montana. And now none of those guys are going to go.
No,
why would any of those guys go? They're all in their 60s and 70s trying to stay away from the Omicron, so they won't go. But look, I want to go and see you guys in LA or San Diego anyway. And just, we've all had something in common. We've all worked hard, multiple shows during COVID. And no one's writing up a great story about JT the Brick, the man who did more hours than anyone over this last year. No one cares anymore. It used to be, if I'm not seen at Radio Row, am I going to get a contract? Am I going to get a new deal? No one cares anymore. All people care about are I Thrive MD, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty, Corky's. They care about Sided. They care about your partners and how you treat your partners and grow your business with Torialistics this time of year and what you're doing to be a good partner. That's what I care about. And even 7 Mile Casino, I can't wait to get there, guys.
Hey, we got to get you to West Coast Barbecue Shop too while we're at it. You just didn't see that one flashing behind you, man.
I would have said it if it was flashing behind you.
JT, I know you got to hustle. Much love. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And go Raiders this weekend in Cincinnati. We'll talk to you soon.
Coming from you, that means a lot. Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, JT. Thanks, man. JT the Brick, as usual, bringing his A game. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was good, man. I thought he feels like I feel about what's going on with the Super Bowl. Like, who's going to do what, how, why? Like, this is a very dangerous situation. Like, if I'm Joe Montana, I ain't going to that. If I'm Emmitt Smith, I ain't going to that. Like, huh? What?
I'm genuinely surprised. Like, there's like capacity limits in LA, aren't there? I'm surprised it's actually even allowed to happen. To be honest with you guys.
Well, but I would think that the NFL uses its influence, if you will,
right,
and says to the city of LA, hey, look, I'll tell you what, if you're not going to let us do this and you're not going to let us do that, how would you like it if we just bailed on LA and we just went down to Dallas? Would you guys like that?
Right.
I just feel like if you're gonna one of the best parts about the Super Bowl is the parties, the entertainment, what the city turns into, and I just don't think that's gonna happen.
I think you're right. It's not. And then, but you know what?
Kind of made me not want to go.
You know what LA is gonna do, and Stan Kroenke's gonna do? They're gonna go back to the NFL and they're gonna go, hey, our Super Bowl was trash because
give us another one.
I want not one. I want 2, 3, 4, and the NFL's
gonna LA is the new Miami. It's going to be there every 4
Yeah,
it's
years. Definitely in a rotation.
No question about it. LA now will have lots of Super Bowls, and it's not just because of the stadium. It's not just because of the market. It's mostly because the NFL Network and the NFL League offices are right there by SoFi Stadium.
They're going through a West Coast swing right now. So you got LA, Arizona, Vegas, then New Orleans.
Yeah, and
I'm assuming probably back to LA after that.
Yeah,
they're probably back to Dallas after that.
Miami at some point.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Miami, though. Yeah, never mind.
Well, Miami's where it all started.
They built an F1 track around the stadium in Miami. Who knows what that looks like?
I'd like to see that. Hey, I want to say to everybody, as JT was reading through all of our sponsors, okay, I do want to mention one, and that is Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, 858-376-1299. If you have any questions about what's going on in the real estate market, because you're hearing about interest rates on the rise and how over the course of 2022, the Fed may raise interest rates. It's approximated that he may do it 4 times. They, that it might happen 4 times. Interest rates will go from where they are today up, let's just call it a point. And then how does that change your world? You know, if you're somebody that's thinking about selling a house right now, does that mean all of a sudden your price is going to come down? Does that mean that there's going to be fewer buyers because the banks don't want to lend the money at a higher interest rate, or you've got to have more to put down? Listen, these are all questions that you might have. I'm just making these up off the top of my head. Call Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, because he's got a very strong opinion, a qualified opinion, and something that you might want to tap into. 858-376-1299. Grande, I don't know if you want to say anything about Gary, but I mean, if it wasn't for Gary and his team, who knows where you'd be renting right now?
Yeah, I'd still be like 2 blocks away, but now I own and now I still live in North Park, and that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So if Gary can get me in North Park, he can get you in wherever you want to live, man. Tell you that much.
On God, for real.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
what?
I'm going to cut that out.
Why?
We were doing so well. We got 10 seconds.
That was my kids say that, and I think is that not
yeah,
cool?
keep your kids.
Commercial.
Oh.
Your kids say that.
All right, stick around. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios with Grande and the Brown Man.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio.
SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Vondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
University of San Diego women's basketball got their first West Coast Conference win of the season against San Francisco last Saturday. USD settled right where they had left off after a 3-week pause due to COVID protocols, getting the win 65-56. Kiera Okri hit career highs with 22 points and 8 rebounds. Sydney Hunter earned her second double-double of the season with 11 points and 12 rebounds. The USD defense forced 16 total turnovers and 9 steals against San Francisco. They shot 45% from the three-point line. The Toreros are 9-4 on the season. They'll take on Loyola Marymount tonight, then will match up with Gonzaga on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live game, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrack, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years, and he started this business out of a studio apartment, and look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for Prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 a.m. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.